What are your takeaways from Sanders' debut against the Ravens?
You know, it's I kind of wrote about it after the game. I liked the way they started him out to get his feet wet through two quick, easy passes, one to Tillman, 5 yard out, over the middle to Njoku. But I didn't like, not getting yards on first down, putting him in third and long, and then, those sacks are what we saw against the Rams. He turns around and takes off running and gets run down. Two sacks for 27-yard losses. So it was very poor, in my opinion, until the final drive. I saw a little bit of something to build on. And what I liked the most about it was him throwing the ball downfield. I'm sure the play is called what it is. Dylan Gabriel has chosen to check the ball down. Sanders threw the ball in the end zone, I think, 3 times. One, I don't know if he was throwing it away or it was just way off target. Isaiah Bond was open. He threw it over his head. Then he threw it right perfectly to Gage Lavardane. I thought it was a touchdown. The defensive back made a good play and stripped it or ripped it out of his hands. Should have been a touchdown. Lavardane, he's got to secure that. Um, and then they had a couple other, that one to Fannin, to open that drive looked good. So he has it in him, but they really have to design plays and an offense for him. I think Gabriel's working on one set of rules all week with certain plays with mobility and so forth. And Sanders is a different style. That's why I felt all along they wanted to wait when they could announce him as the starter, practice him all week, and get him ready for a game. It obviously wasn't last week, and so I thought it could have been, even the Raiders game, or it could have been one of these upcoming two home games after this. I was earmarking the Titans. That seemed to be a prime time to give him a chance. So he left because of the way it ended. I felt like I wanted to see a little bit more. Yeah, it wasn't great at all. 4 of 16, but I would like to see if he got a week where they just work specifically designing an offense and plays that he can run and run effectively.
Did it seem like he was trying to catch up to the speed of the game? It seemed like the game was a little too fast for him to me.
Yeah, it did. I mean, that's what I'm saying is they're I think a lot of the things we've seen why they have been negligent or hesitant, I should say, to put him in. They don't want to overwhelm him and have him lose his confidence and ruin him, so to say, like we've seen so many times with rookie quarterbacks. The one thing I took from it after the game, we talked to him, his confidence isn't ruined. He's very confident. And when he said, I can do this. And I think he believes that. And I think now he knows what he needs to do and the things they've been having him work on. He knows he really what he needs to work on. And everybody thinks there's a conspiracy to hold him back. I think they were waiting for the right moment. But if you're waiting for the right moment, you don't have him as your backup because, as we saw, anytime. I mean, I don't. It's very less than ideal to throw in a rookie guy that you're developing against one of the better defenses, aggressive defenses in the NFL, just like it was with DTR a couple of years ago. So I would be anxious, to see him get some reps with the first team this week, and I'd go ahead and play him. You can always go back to Gabriel, but you give him the chance this week and see what it looks like. If it's a lot the same stuff, I mean, you can always go back, to Gabriel, obviously. But we've kind of seen where we're at with Gabriel. They didn't score any touchdowns with him. He had opportunities 3 times inside the 30, and they could not score. And so, when you talk about conspiracy theory, I don't think it's anything to do with that. You can pick your topic. If you opened it up to the callers or to voicemails, you'd get a segment saying we got the worst wide receivers in the NFL. Another, we got one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. you have one of the worst coaches, whatever you want to say. It is a combination. He doesn't have much help on the offensive line, and I think Gabriel looked better if they could stand in there. Same way with Sanders. These teams are just blitzing, and and it's all hands on deck, and so it's so hard to evaluate. And I'm not copying Stefanski's. We got to do better. But it is all of them. I mean, you can't point at any area on this offense that you'd say they're really good here.
No, no, that's how you end up as poor as they are scoring points.